Hi, my name is Swapnil. I'm from CloudEngine, and I've been told not to bore the audience, so I'm going to give this shot. Um, how many of you here are mobile developers? Any mobile app developers? Oh, cool. Okay. Do you guys like memes? Do you use memes on Facebook sometimes? Okay. I love memes, so probably those of you do are going to love this. So what do we do at CloudEngine is basically, in one line, we help you build apps faster. How do we do that? So developing apps, right? It's a piece of cake, is it really? So here is Thomas Suarez. For those of you who don't know, he's a 12-year-old app developer kid, probably the youngest app developer. And so you see that whole effort of every company has been to make app development simple, right? That's where all of us are putting the effort in. But is it really that simple? Well, so app developers happen to be good at developing apps. So when I say apps, probably the standalone apps, you know. The focus on app development is on the UI and UX, giving a rich experience to the user and so on. Many app developers specialize in that because that's their USP, right? That's what's going to sell your apps. And that's why app developers are sitting there happily hacking away their apps. They think, and you feel like a rock star. Unless one day your boss walks in and tells you that you need to build this app, but this app is going to need a web service which does X in some framework that you're not aware of, using a NoSQL DB, which handles thousands of requests per second, and so on and so on. So this is a typical scenario that many of the app developers face, because not all apps are standalone, right? Let's say a chat server. You're going to need, if you're building a chat app, you're going to need a chat server for that. And you'll end up somewhere around here, and that's not a very nice situation to be for many developers. So developers are going to cringe usually at the thought of, when you ask them to do something in the backend. And the problem is they love working on their apps, right? They love because they are experts in that. Their time is better utilized focusing on the user experience, right? If you ask, it's not because they can do it, it's because their time is better utilized in doing something else that they are experts in, right? So this is a bad utilization of your resources if you're doing that. And you have Arnold to your rescue. Just this time, he's not saying I'm back, he's saying I'm back. So for how many of you have heard this term before? Awesome. Someone? No one? Okay. So that's a new industry term. It means mobile backend as a service. And I don't know who invents these terms. So it basically means you give backend as a service to mobile application developers, so they don't have to worry about the backend. So these are readily available services. So the app developers just hook into the services, and they are good to go. So you get usually these services are exposed as REST APIs or Android SDK and so on. So the Android developers really never have to bother with the service. They keep developing their Android stuff, and just the backend is taken care of sort of in a magical way. And party's on. So it's a good business case, right? It's a solid business case, and it's a huge and big market. It happens to be a very, very big market. Certainly, the impasse is the hot term everywhere. You have about 30 or 40, I don't know what, odd service providers all around the world giving this. Some of the big names, Google, as usual, is late to the party. This year, they announced some support for those kind of services. One of the companies is Facebook. is acquired by Facebook. You have Amazon doing something, giving some of these services. So those are the big names, and then there are like tens of small names who are trying to do basically the same thing, right? So you think that the problem is solved, and you're a rock star again. You're good to go, and yeah, life is cool. Until you start using one of these ambassador service providers, and you realize that so all of these companies have a free tier or so, right? To get started quickly. But you realize that you're going to hit the free limit pretty quickly. The free isn't really free. You're going to end up shelling out a whole lot than what you're going to save. That's one. And then another one, very soon you realize also that once you start using these services, you're basically stuck with these services, right? Let's say so the whole point that you started using these services was because you want to get started quickly. You don't want to waste time in setting up a server and installing stuff and managing the backend and so on and so on. That's why you started using these services. And say now today your app has about 1 million users, and you decide to say I want to run this stuff on my own server. Okay, I don't want any more service provider, and you suddenly realize that you have been screwed. So what's the option left with the mobile app developers? Today, if the app developers need to write a backend, they have to do it from scratch. There are no standards in mobile backend. That's a tremendous, tremendous waste of time, and I don't know why we are in such a situation today. What's the solution? The solution, does anyone recognize the symbol here? Anyone? At least one? No? Oh, okay. I was hoping more geeks here. So that's a symbol of open source initiative. So the way that we want to solve this problem is creating an open platform. The market is super, super saturated, and there's no way it can proceed ahead unless we start opening up things. And that's why we built an open source platform, a backend solution for mobile, and we want to make that as a de facto for the entire mobile industry. So the stack looks something like this. We have Mongo, we have Socket, we have Django and Python. So in terms of stack, this is kind of pretty unique because you'll not see a combination of this Django anywhere. Usually the industry standard would be ROR and Node. But we have bet on this because we feel this makes sense. We love Python. We are Pythonistas. And somebody has to give justice to Python. So we feel we have made the right decision, and we can build a community around this. Okay. So it's when I say it's open source, it's free. What does free mean? Whoa, seriously? Awesome. Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute if I missed anything. But anyway, it's open source, and if you are a geek, you got to contribute. Just go to GitHub. You can fork. If you think there's something awesome that you can do with this platform, it's not there, just send us a mail. We'll add that feature up. Or if you can't wait for that, just fork it and implement it yourself. How the hell did I use the time? Okay. Something about me, nothing much interesting. You can ping me at @swapnil. That's about myself. I was hoping to give you a demo, but apparently I've run out of time. It's getcloudengine.net. Do sign up. We are in closed beta right now.